Upper Network Africa. U.S. restricts carry-on electronics from 10 airports in the Middle East and North Africa. Eight people die following multiple explosions in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. And Libyan authorities deport 173 illegal migrants to Côte d'Ivoire. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Temitope Fagbemi. U.S. media reports say an aircraft cabin ban on large electronic devices was prompted by intelligence gathering, suggesting there is a terror threat to U.S.-bound flights. Yesterday, the U.S. and U.K. announced new carry-on restrictions banning laptops on certain passenger flights. The Islamic State group is reportedly working on ways to smuggle explosives onto planes by hiding them in electronics. Inbound flights on 9 airlines operating out of 10 airports in 8 countries are subject to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security ban. Phones and medical devices are, however, not affected. The VOA's Joshua Fatsig joins us live on the program to tell us more about this issue. You're welcome to the program, Joshua.
Hi, how are you?
So tell us more about the terror threat that the U.S. government is hoping to forestall with this electronic ban.
Well, right now the information we have is kind of all over the place. The U.S. and U.K. governments announced these bans yesterday, but what they said was there was no credible or specific threat to the airlines when they instituted them. Now we have new reporting from U.S. media outlets like the New York Times and CNN saying that these are coming from some specific terrorist threats. They're citing unnamed officials, and all we have on the record right now from U.S. officials and U.K. officials are saying that there's no specific or credible threat. So it's kind of, all over the place, the information we have to implement. This is obviously a developing story, so as it progresses, more information, I think, will become available.
So are there fears that this could be a political decision?
There are people saying that. I don't have any evidence to back that up. What we have right now is the administration saying that this is based on an evolving threats is the exact terminology that they used. So they're seeing some sort of intelligence that's indicating that either ISIS or Al Qaeda or some sort of a terrorist organization is either developing or has developed bombs that are capable of being hidden in laptops. They're smaller than a laptop battery. So right now there's nothing that indicates that this is a political maneuver at all. But, there's not really much information out there, so we'll have to wait and see.
Joshua, which countries are affected by these bans? Are they the same countries that were affected by the U.S. travel ban?
That's actually an interesting point. None of the airports that are affected by this new electronics ban are in countries that were affected by the travel ban. So that's another question that we have for the administration is about the efficacy of this ban is, if these countries are seen as, or these airports are seen as some sort of a threat, then why weren't they included in the initial ban that was meant to bar travelers ostensibly for the safety of U.S. citizens?
Now, we understand that the banned electronic devices can still be checked in baggage. How does this make flights going to the United States safer? You recall that it was apparently a bomb in the cargo hold that brought down a Russian airliner flying from Sharm el-Sheikh International Airport in Egypt in October 2015.
Right. So that incident was actually cited by the government when they introduced this new electronics ban. I think the idea here is that, again, the government was pretty scant on details as to what specifically led to this ban, but what we're hearing from U.S. media reports is that these ISIS or Al Qaeda has either devised a way to put an explosive device into a laptop, or is very close to being able to put one of these devices into a laptop. And I think the idea behind the ban in putting the laptops in the cargo bays, that it would be one more step that these bomb makers would have to take. So they would have to devise some sort of a remote detonation device or some kind of a timing device that would make things more complicated when you have flights that are delayed or, some things can happen. So, the administration hasn't said one way or the other, but I think the idea behind it is to just make it a little bit harder for people who would like to put explosives on airplanes to do so.
So what has reaction been like in the United States to this ban? What are ordinary Americans saying about this?
People are, from what I've seen, business travelers are having the biggest issue with it, I think, because these people are traveling, whether it be from Saudi Arabia or from, Yemen or one of these countries. But these are long flights to and from the United States. So if you're flying back to the United States, you're on a flight for 20 hours. And if you're a business person, you can't really, can't get any work done if you don't have your laptop. So these people are, have been saying that they're a little upset by that, and they're going over there on these work trips, and they expect to be able to conduct at least a little bit of business in the air while they're coming back, but now they can't do that. So that's one of the issues I've seen. Other people are, saying it's just more of the same from the TSA. They call it security theater, where they implement these things that they don't really do much to keep us safe. But they look good, and people think that they're protected. So there's that sense for people. But again, all the government sources seem fairly concerned that there is some sort of a threat, even though they've not been specific about what exactly that threat is. They've identified a threat, and they think that this will help keep Americans safe. So we have to, as for now at least, sort of take their word on that.
Well, finally, Joshua, how long is this ban expected to last? Do we know?
The ban actually wasn't given an end date. So as of right now, it has an indefinite time frame. There's no, they didn't put an end date on it. So at this point, it's really hard to say, since they haven't identified a specific or credible threat that we could say, once this threat is passed, we can eliminate the ban. So we really don't know. It could last forever. It could be over next week. We really don't know.